A major arms deal is on the way for Saudi Arabia, a sign that President Biden is not going to be keeping a major campaign promise. Farron Cousins from Trial Lawyer Magazine joins me to talk about it. This is a big surprise because I remember the big campaign was he was beating on Trump, how Saudi Arabia, dirtbag pariah, and they are. And now his promise was, well, we're going to start taking their money away from them. And now that seems to have changed overnight, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, you and I sat here 10 months ago, actually, and we talked about how he was canceling the arms deal because that was the big announcement. He said, we are not going through with this. It's completely off the table. And then as the year went on, and of course, there's been plenty of other distractions for him, it quietly took place behind the scenes. And what's even worse is that you had all of these Democratic lawmakers who had opposed the plan under Donald Trump, were very outspoken about it. He even got them to go along with it now. So now instead of this big wall of opposition, it's slowly crumbling, and these people who were never going to be okay with the arms deal are now saying, well, it's okay because Saudi Arabia has to defend themselves, is their reasoning.
Well, let's call out some names. Michael Bennet, Democrat from Colorado. We can't sell them any more arms. Remember this? They're killing people. It's insanity over there. Now, oh yeah, we're going to vote for exactly the same thing that he was speaking against. There's Bob Menendez, Democrat from New Jersey. Same thing. Klobuchar from Minnesota. Yeah. All these Democrats who were saying this is the worst idea to arm these people who were involved with the Khashoggi incident. We knew the Saudi prince over there is a nut job. He is a total lunatic. And we said we can't sell him anymore. But that's all changed overnight, huh?
Well, and it's even more terrifying, too, because we've also had plenty of very credible reports over the years that some of the weapons we're selling to Saudi Arabia are ending up in the hands of the very terrorists who are turning around and killing Americans in the Middle East. So we're selling them to Saudi Arabia. They're, we can't say for certain because obviously we don't know, but somehow Saudi Arabia is letting the bad guys get their hands on these weapons, and they're killing us.
And what we're going to see is all the weapons industry talking heads all over MSNBC, all over CNN, because that's who they hire.
Yep.
They hire people directly from the weapons industry to come on the air and talk about how this is such a great idea, even though the Democrats were a bloc, almost totally against the idea of doing this. And now all of a sudden it's different. As you pointed out, their argument is, now we understand. Now this is going to be done so Saudi Arabia can protect themselves from the evil Yemen rebels, right?
Well, and one of them specifically mentioned, we've got to protect the oil flow coming from Saudi Arabia. So they're giving up the game here. They're very transparent. Yeah. We want their oil. And so we're going to have to continue to appease them by giving them these weapons every year, every couple of years, whatever it is. And they're using them, again, we know what they're carrying out in Yemen. They are killing children. They are killing innocent civilians.
By the tens of thousands,
right.
By the way.
And this is not a defensive move by Saudi Arabia at all. This is absolutely Saudi Arabia going on the offensive in Yemen. Yeah. We also know, as you pointed out, what they did with Khashoggi. We know about the human rights abuses they do with their own citizens.
Look, this prince is a lunatic. Okay? Yeah. Do you understand that there's some writers that have said that they suspect that he was watching Khashoggi be dismembered, that they had a two-way video, and this idiot, this little freak that's put himself in charge of Saudi Arabia was sitting there watching it. Let's sell him weapons.